Hi guys, Black and Silver Nomadic again, and we're getting some new neighbors right now, so this time we're inside. We couldn't really hear ourselves, so we're gonna let them get set up and then we'll finish talking about the cooking station. But as we mentioned before, we've been on the road now for
a little over a year.
Well, no, just a little under a year actually. Thanksgiving actually it would be pretty much a year.
Thanksgiving is a year.
Actually a little bit before that, and we moved out a week before, so this is pretty much a year. Hey, we made it a year. Yeah, I bet you today, what is today? Thursday. I think we left on Friday, so this tomorrow would be pretty much our year on the road. Midnight and Holly have, I think, enjoyed themselves. You'd have to ask them.
What do you think?
I think they've enjoyed themselves.
I think you've enjoyed yourselves, huh?
If you haven't noticed, we're in kind of a small camper. The interior box is 28.6. It's kind of small for a family of 4, especially when 2 people like to run a lot. Yes, we do. We like to run a lot inside. But I think in a small camper with only a single small, it's only a half slide, we've done pretty well.
Yeah, really well. Ryan remodeled this almost by himself. He did get a lot of help from his dad, his mom, and me when I could, but I was working.
And friends helped once in a while on big projects.
I was working on a travel assignment about 3 hours away from home, so I wasn't able to help them at all times, but I did what I could when I came home. And actually, there were points and times, especially when it came to painting, the painting of the cupboard doors that you see, I actually took those with me to my hotel room.
Oh, man.
And painted them secretly in my hotel room. Luckily, I had a room that had a separate entrance. I didn't have to go through the lobby, and so I just snuck all of the doors in and laid them out on my floor and painted them all.
And shout out to Altoona Grand Hotel. I mean, Tessa worked in Altoona, Pennsylvania for a little while, and a lot of you know that city has a bad rap for just being not the greatest place to live, but we actually found some good parts about it. If you're looking for good shopping, first of all, they have an awesome mall. There's a wonderful bar downtown, a little Gastro pub. We'll have to insert that information here in the video. I can't think of the name right now, but
we could do a review later also.
Yeah, just an awesome place to eat. Definitely would like to go back there. But during Tessa's time there, as RVers, we actually do use hotels quite frequently. On the road, we kind of set up for longer periods, and when we're set up, we don't like to move the camper. It's kind of a pain.
Oh, where's that?
But we do like to take a lot of trips on the weekends or time that she gets. And we usually gravitate away from hotels because of the way that they're all corporately run. Altoona Grand Hotel gave Tessa a great place to stay. It's a family-owned little hotel, and it was a good place for her during that time. And aside from the hotel in St. Pete that we love so much, that's about the only family-owned hotel that we've really enjoyed staying in the last few years. We do tend to Airbnb a lot, but shout out to them for giving her a good place to stay, because she was down there for 6 months-ish.
6 months.
Yeah, and they were very good to her. They were good on rates, and it was just a very nice place for her to stay. So we'll get into it. We're on the inside here, obviously.
Maybe we should start from the back, or from the front, and work our way back.
Yeah, we can do that. So obviously we have a pretty small standard entry door. This is something that we actually need to get a door handle for, but we have managed to rebuild the door handle and its lock cylinder 10 times on the road.
Yeah, it's broken off quite a few times now.
Well, just the lock cylinder keeps getting messed up. But
the lock cylinder messed up.
This lock cylinder's been getting messed up since we own this camper, and I traveled in it as a kid, so we just keep fixing it, and someday maybe we'll get one of those RV locks. Shout out to RV Lock if they want to give us one to try out. We'd be more than happy. We require one for the front, one for the back, and one for the trailer, but keyless entry sounds like something we'd be willing to try maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, if RV Lock wants to help us out. If you do want to check out RV Lock a little bit, Changing Lanes does a good video on that. So going into the bedroom, we have wall hung. Actually, the starfish and the seashells that you see were wedding decorations. They are wood. And you'll see that we have a lot of things hung in the camper. We do hang a lot of our items with 3M double-sided automotive tape. That has been very good to us going down the road.
Yeah, we haven't lost, I think we lost one picture. It was in the back, and that was kind of our fault, I would say. It wasn't sticking very well.
Yeah,
for some reason.
There was something on that wall that kept it from sticking.
But these are on there. They're not coming off. We have traveled multiple times. They haven't fallen down. And actually, we just hung up our shell box there, which is full of shells. And it has been fine. So.
And this was hung up. The shadow boxes and things we like to remove, we use 3M dual lock. Like I mentioned, we use it on the outside of the camper as well. That's what's great about both of these products, is they are rated for exterior use, but essentially it's a heavy Velcro.
As you can see, we don't have a ton of storage space for our clothes, but we do have some, and we try to make use of what we do have. We have 3 cupboards up top, and this extends all the way across. So I basically have this entire thing cram-packed with clothing. So I'm not going to open the door to show you.
Oh, it's pretty
I guess
packed.
Ryan is
It's pretty packed.
It's very packed.
But it's slightly organized too. I mean,
I have a system to the madness, but we do have 2 closets as well. I mostly use mine for my dresses and things like that. Ryan, I hang his nice clothes in there. And then underneath, we do have 2 large drawers.
Yeah, I'll show you on this side.
He actually made, Ryan and his dad made those drawers for us to go underneath our bed. This is not the
As you can see, the dogs have steps for the bed. Holly, come here. You want to show everybody your steps? Oh, hi, Midnight. Hi, buddy. Holly Grace. Tessa, call her.
Holly, come here.
Go ahead.
Come here, Holly. Oh, very good.
So it's funny, when we go to Grandma and Grandpa's house, we have issues getting on the bed because we're used to steps. We have a certain standard of living about us, and that's one of the things that's required.
Yes.
But as much as these steps are so irritating to me because they get in the way of my cupboard door opening and my drawer, but I just try to keep all my quick grab stuff in this drawer or in this cupboard.
The cool thing about these steps is they are storage themselves.
They do have storage.
So this one is full of baby's toys.
Dog toys. More dog toys.
Most of these are dog toys, actually, but they are storage themselves, so it's not totally for naught.
No, and they've been great. They allow the babies to get up and down from the bed more easily. That's the worst thing we want, is in this tight of a space for them to not be able to safely jump up and on to the bed. Let's talk a little bit about the lights and the fan, just while we're here. Yeah. Monkey's getting some pets. So the lights on the side, if you want to turn yours on, Tess, these are reading lights. These are standard home reading lights. The issue with a camper a lot of times is your lighting is run on 12 volt. So these lights both, and our entryway light, and actually all of our ceiling lights, which do dim, by the way. We'll leave links for all this stuff. These ceiling lights are puck lights that individually turn on and off as well. But a lot of this stuff is very RV specific. As I mentioned, these reading lights are normal house fixtures, as well as the one up here. But they have something special. All these bulbs are actually the same in the reading lights. They're an Edison style. They're actually a 12 volt bulb. So when you're going down the road, what that means, you normally can turn your lights on off of the battery on the truck. So if you stop at a truck stop overnight, or you're boondocking, or any other reason that you're unplugged from shore power, these lights all still run off the battery. That was very important to us, because when we're traveling, sometimes we have to travel across the country in a very short amount of time. And so for us to stop for the night, your furnace runs on 12 volt, and now these lights run on 12 volts, so that we can maintain some sense of travelability even in a remodeled camper. I can actually leave these lights on the comments for you guys so that you can get those bulbs. But essentially you can change all of these fixtures right over to 12 volt. You just run your neutral as the ground wire, delete the ground itself, and hook your power up like normal, and then just put in the 12 volt bulb into the normal house fixture. The other thing that we really love, we have 3 roof vents in this camper, and sometimes we can't run the air conditioner if we're going down the road, things like that. We since have installed a generator package on the camper, but sometimes it's nice to just be able to flip on the fan. And so we have these Heng's replacement fans. Essentially, you pull out the bottom screen of your roof vent. You do not have to monkey with the mount on the roof at all, so you're not messing with the integrity or the seal on the roof. And these just screw right into place. They open like normal. And then you have 3 speeds in, slow, medium, and fast. And then you have 2 speeds out. And this upgrades your regular vent or your power vent with the tiny fan to an actual 10-inch fan. These have been great. The only thing I'd say is the fan isn't totally balanced. They are a little on the noisy side. If you have the ability to put a Max Air or a fantastic fan, those are definitely going to be a better option. But for $100, I think that's all we paid on these. That's about $100. These are great, and they just literally wire into 12 volt. Again, you're going down the road, you're not plugged into shore power. These will work. It's a great way to vent your camper while you're going down the road. Everything. We really love that.
Summertime when you want a little bit of air, but not the air conditioning.
Yeah. Cool night, but it's still a little warm in the camper. They're fantastic. We really love them. And it's been a great upgrade, at least for the bathroom.
Yeah.
It vents a lot better.
I guess the next thing is I'm kind of moving on to the bed here itself. This is not, like I was saying before, this is not the original bed. This is actually our mattress that we had when we, through college. It's a purple mattress, and it is on a reclining base. So we have a remote control right here, and that is just Velcroed up, so we can take that off too.
Where's the TV one? Oh, here's TV.
So we can put things into different modes. If you hit certain buttons, it'll automatically start to move. I'll make my pillows all crazy, but it'll bring up the feet and bring up the head of the bed. So now you're kind of in TV mode, and you'll see it's super close for the lights, but we just
it does miss.
Out of the way, and it does miss.
There's a lot of stuff that's super close.
Super close.
So you can see it actually. The base will go up, and the foot of the bed can be controlled independently of the head. But it's been great for.
I love the bed and being able to sit up, watch TV, and lay back down.
If Tessa has some training to knock out really quickly before the start of a new contract, a lot of times we're squeezing that in after work. On the previous contract, because we go right from one end to the other. So this gives her a nice place to get caught up on some of that studying and things like that while being able to snuggle with the dogs after work or something like that. Back when we were in college, we just simply didn't have a couch, and what we found is, being able to recline up to watch TV and then lay back down, you just sleep. It really
does make a difference in your sleep pattern.
You sleep better because you're changing position. It's almost like going from one chair to the other.
Right.
I think.
Put that flat, honey, so that we can.
Yeah, we can do that. Do you want to talk about the window treatments at all?
Oh, sure. So let's film on your side, right? Because we have neighbors on this side. So the window treatments that we have, they are custom treatments. As you know, the windows in RVs can be kind of small, as ours are. So these are all from Home Depot.
These are Vornado. You can actually get these at Lowe's as well. I don't know that they have this one available anymore, but they actually have a new white color that I kind of like better. These are like a gray silvery color. We really love them. They're the full 2.5 inch boards, I believe these are. Maybe these are the 2s.
Yeah, those might be the 2s.
But they essentially just push up pull down. We do have the locks for travel. They take and shade very nicely. These are pretty well dog proof to our dogs. I mean, obviously if you have a lab,
he got a little couple scrapes here, but he has not knocked them down. So
they're not too bad. They've done well. And you can get the valences on the front. We did. These are very nice. It just covers the front of the blind. Being that we chose to go with curtain rods.
The best part of this is these are home blinds. They're home window treatments. So to make them RV, to make them withstand, we have these little locks on the sides.
And those are standard option when you order them.
And I just lock them into place, and then they don't move when we go somewhere.
What's great about these blinds is you can usually catch them on sale. I do believe we got 25% off on our entire order. And that made them quite affordable in our opinion, especially if you're spending all the money to remodel a camper. Right. You get quite a bit of bang for your buck with these. Now, as far as the curtains, this is something that my mom and I worked on together. She has a nice Janome.
Shout out to Michelle.
Yeah, she has a great Janome setup with a serger and a sewing machine. And so Tessa and I just basically rated all the Joann fabrics. This is actually exterior fabric, so it's a little heavier, more durable. And then we actually got blackout liner on the back. So my mom and I made these and did the plastic snap grommets, which simply it was too expensive to buy the setter for the metal ones. Those are kind of a specialty thing, and the setters are almost $200 a piece. So we went with plastic, and we've been very happy with them.
And they have literally been a godsend for me on night shifts when I have to sleep during the day. It is basically pitch black here in the bedroom, so I can actually get some sleep. And if Ryan turns around, Michelle also made these for us. They're thick, heavy curtains that kind of divide the bedroom from the living room. And like I said, if you have these closed and the windows, the curtains closed, it's pitch black in here, just like nighttime. Most of the time we have our windows closed for privacy, and sometimes you can't tell if it's day or night.
But it is nice because a lot of the campsites that we are in, you at least have one neighbor on one side, and it's just great for privacy. We've really enjoyed the window treatments and the blinds. They've been great.
Yeah, they have.
Now, for comfort in the bedroom, we just got these. Do you want to show them? These are actually made by Vornado. I believe these were a Walmart find in the Outer Banks. We were worried our air conditioner was going to give us trouble in the Outer Banks. And so
because of it being so hot. Here in Winston, when we were here during the summertime, it got above like 110 degrees.
No, it was high 90s, but
it was 100.
it felt like 100 degrees to a Pennsylvania person. It was warm. It was definitely warm. It made us soft quick. But these Vornados are great. I think the fan's only about 3-4 inches, but they clamp on anywhere, and they're just a regular 120 plug. They have like 3 settings on the back, but these have made the bedroom quite comfortable for us during the evenings, especially when it's warm. And they just help move some air, because at the end of the day, we put up this wall and we love it for what it has given us, but we don't have that flow from the air conditioner that we had before. And so these just help to move some of that air.
Yeah, originally before we remodeled the camper, it was actually reversed. What you see is open through the walkways. That was actually a wall, and where the wall was open with a curtain that went across for privacy. So in the original camper, the air conditioner would just blow into the bedroom. Well, we don't get that now because we put up our feature piece, our wall in the middle, and you'll see why on the other side is the feature piece.
Yeah, that was necessary. Certainly not something we could have done without, but right. It unfortunately did cut down on the airflow. Right.
In here on the inside, though, you'll kind of see we've got an electronic wall here. We have our Xbox that I love to play. We use that as entertainment, and you'll see it behind the TV. Again, space saving. We have our little game holder.
Yeah, that's just a wire game holder. And this is just an upright stand for it. Nothing special here. But as you do see, like the power brick and that are right there. And we have a USB thing here also. A lot of stuff is just wall mounted just for simplicity. Same thing with the router. The router's over there and it's wall mounted. A lot of things we do like that just simply because there's not space to have all of those things sitting down on the lower shelf that I built.
And then we do have our ECHO. I can't say its name because it will turn on. But we do use that quite frequently.
It's great for morning alarms,
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
We do like our Amazon connected devices, but it is very interesting. You know,
They'll
when
start
you're
to talk to each other, it's kind of funny.
when you're in commercials, set them off.
We'll set them off.
It's very funny because when you're in a house, usually your ECHO and your AMA ZON are in different rooms. We have three devices right next to each other. One's in the bedroom, one's in the living room, but they're 6 inches apart. So
makes for a difficult conversation, especially if you're trying to shop on AMA ZON.
But they're great for alarms and things like that, or playing music. We do like our studio. The sound quality is great. But as far as the TV, it's kind of hard to connect those devices, especially if you're having internet issues, which sometimes happens on the road. We do have a Samsung TV in here. It's a 40-inch, and it is on a pull-out bar that locks, so it's an RV style. I just made a little aluminum bracket to hold our sound bar on the bottom of the TV, and that has worked really, really well. It actually has a little bit of like vibration absorption to it. And the coolest part about this is the subwoofer is actually underneath the bed between the two drawers.
Yeah.
So when you listen to an action movie, that thing's turned all the way down and you get some action. It's pretty cool.
Quite the vibration in the bass that you have going on through the bed.
It's just like being in a movie theater.
Yeah,
it's
really
not a
is.
bad thing.
No.
It's really great, but definitely got to watch your volume.
Ryan and I have actually tested it. I've gone outside and he's played a movie just to make sure we weren't disturbing the neighbors too much, because I thought that we were in the film when we watched our first movie with it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We watched the Ryan Reynolds like 6 whatever movie. That was cool. You watch an action movie with a sub under your bed. That's a lot of fun.
And then
Almost as fun as the washer and dryer, which that's another thing. We should talk about that. The washer dryer gives you quite a ride in the bed too. The whole camper moves sometimes. And since then we have found out a few mitigations for that. Some of you will know X-Chocks is a BAL Corporation device. It basically tightens between the wheels. The X-Chocks have been great, to say the least.
Yes.
They keep this camper way more stable.
Right. It's definitely helped with the vibrations of the dishwasher and the washer dryer, for sure.
But the new suspension has helped a bit too, I've noticed. And the other thing is, when I tighten down the stabilizer jacks, you never want to over tighten those, and you always want to go evenly. When we set up, it's for a long period. We like to check on our stabilizers and make sure they're all tight and not too tight. And the other thing too is I tighten them down in a pattern, and I'll go around the camper and make sure that they tighten evenly as they go down. It might seem a little extra, but trust me, you'll have better results over time with that. But you want to talk about our heat storm?
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of the bedroom is I'm a very cold person. Ryan is the opposite, but he's so graciously put in for us because our heating, the ducting, like that we were talking about, isn't super great.
Yeah, our heater's on that side, and unfortunately the last duct that we can get comes through the slide out and it ends in the kitchen.
Yeah.
There is no physical way to get a duct down here, just simply due to the way that the camper's designed. So that made it very chilly.
Bought a electric heater. This is our Heat Storm electric heater, and it pumps out some heat.
See if I can show you behind the TV here a little bit.
You set it for
You
a
can
certain
kind of see it
temperature,
back there.
and it heats until it hits that temperature.
This thing's great. Out of all the electric heaters that I've used over the years, which is quite a few, this one is thermostat control, like she said, and it's also probably the most efficient. When we were at home during winter, when it was like 20 degrees in PA, this thing was very, very efficient. It allowed us to run the camper on an extension cord, actually.
And there was actually a point in time in Altoona when we were camping for Thanksgiving that our
Oh,
main
yeah.
furnace broke. Something had happened with its board, and Ryan was able to fix that eventually, but while we were down there, it was freezing. So we turned on our fireplace, we turned on our electric heaters, and we actually made it through the first night. And it wasn't too bad, to be honest with you. It was warm enough to be livable the first day, and eventually Ryan did get our main furnace fixed, so that was nice. But
yeah, just a reminder, when you're on the road in cold places, it is good to have backup heat of some form. Our furnace was 12 years old. It was new with the camper and never blew any parts. And the first night out as full-timers, we blew the board on the furnace. And that was not fun. It was below freezing. We had water in the lines. So not only were we able to stay warm in the camper, but we also have a device that we can talk a little about later to blow out our water lines if something were to happen. It does run on 12 volt again, so on the battery. And it's the Lippert Floe. And we did actually have a defective one, and Lippert took care of that for us and got us the new unit. And that's been great to be able to blow out our water lines on the fly. It's not 100% winterization, but if you're getting a cold night and something happens, it's kind of nice to know that you're not going to blow up a water line.
These guys are just exhausted from chasing all of the cats, as you saw in our previous videos. But I think that kind of sums up the bedroom here.
Yeah, I can't think of anything too much else.
Yeah.
This is definitely an important spot for us between Tessa working night shift and just the babies. This is a safe spot for them. This makes them comfortable.
This is Midnight's favorite room.
When we're on the road, they do get stressed, and this is a place that they feel at home. And so it's very important for us, even while traveling, to keep the bed clear, just so that they have a safe space to be. So I hope that you enjoyed our tour of the bedroom. I think we'll probably make another video for the rest of the camper.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys then.
Yes, don't forget to like and ring the bell for more videos.
If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, any of these products pique your interest, please let us know. Let us know what you guys do for heat in the bedroom. I know there's tons of options. We have what we think works best for us, but there's always things to look forward to with upgrades, and we hope that this isn't our last rig. And I know there's certain things that we are looking for in our new rig, and some of them are ones that are in here, and some of them are ones that we can't have in this one. So please engage with us in the comments. Let us know what you think. If you like what we've done, if there's certain things that you've done.
That you have.
And we'll see you on the next one. Black and Silver Nomadic.